Hey guys, welcome to today's video. In today's video we're going to be going over every single detail on the website. When you load onto the website for the first time, you're met to the dashboard section. In your dashboard you have today's deposit, you have today's withdrawals, you have the deposit request, you have the withdrawal request, commissions today, balance today, all customer today, new client, the gender section, you have the active loan and the pending loan section, you have the total loan disbursed and the total investment section, the total loan paid, the total loan remaining section, your votes balance, the cash at bank, the votes sent, the votes received, today's total transfers, the cash to bank, the cash from bank, all staff, your SMS balance, today's investment, the investments paid today, and the loan disbursed today, together with the loan paid today. You're also met with the total customers with login tab and the monthly transaction analysis for a particular day, and you're also met with the recent transactions. Going further, when you click on the Our Softwares tab, you're met with all the kind of softwares that we have relating to the website. For instance, we have the accounting software, we have the POS software, we have the SUSU software, we have the HRM software, we have the CRM software, the MP1 shop online, and then we have our website. Going into the All Branches tab, when you click on this is where you see every single branch tailored to your company. For example, we have the Tema branch and the Kumasi branch. You can always click on the action to either edit, view, or delete a particular branch. You can also click on Add New to add a new branch to the bank. Going forward, we have the Customers tab. In the Customers tab, we have the All Customers, Open Account, Digital Customers, Import Customers, and Online Account. The All Customer tab show you every list of customers that is registered to your bank. You can either filter by account type, or you filter either the SUSU, the savings, the fixed deposit, or the smart kiddie. You can also either click on action to edit, view, add documents, or delete a particular customer from the website. You can also either click on add new or import a new customer in Excel SX file format. When you click on the Open Accounts tab, this is where you can easily fill this short form to add a new customer account to the website. So by typing every single detail here and then filling out the customer name, the username, the password, and the status, and dragging in a customer profile picture here and then tapping on submit, you can easily open a new account for a customer. Going further into the Digital Customer tab, this is where every customer that registered online can be found on the website. You can either set the status of a customer to active or inactive. Going further, we have the Import Customer tab. This is where you can easily import a whole lot of customers. If you have an XLSX file like a backup, you can just click on Import Customers, click on drag and drop here by dragging and dropping the XLSX file into this section, and click on import. By clicking on import, you're going to get every single customer from a file into the website. When you go to the online account section, this is also the section where you can find every single customer that is registered online. Moving further away from the customer tab, we have the transaction tab. In the transaction tab, we have the make deposits, the make withdrawals, the make mobilization, the approved mobilization, the ACE account to account transfer, the deposit request, the withdrawal request, the make transactions, the transaction history, and the transaction categories. Going into the make deposit tab, this is where a customer you can easily make a deposit for a customer by filling out this quick form by selecting the day, the customer name, and then it will automatically give you the account number and the balance of the customer. You can just type in the amount you want to deposit. We're going to use 600 for this example, and then click on submit and save, and then it's gonna work. It's gonna show you that the transaction is completed successfully and the money has been transferred to the particular customer's account. Going further into the make withdrawals section, this is basically the same thing in reverse. You just type in the customer name, and then it's going to fill out the form for you. It sees the customer has 40 cedis balance. You can just type in 20 for withdrawal, type anything for commission, and then you can type a quick transaction description. By clicking on submit and save, you can see the particular customer has successfully had 21 cedis withdrawn from their account. Next up, we have the make mobilization section. In this section, basically when a field agent goes to the field and collects money, instead of them making a deposit, they do a mobilization, so the manager or admin can approve. By entering the field agent will enter into an account number, and then it will submit it, and then you go into the approve mobilization where the bank manager or the admin can easily just approve any pending mobilization request. Moving further to the account transfer, this is easily just transferring money from a debit account to a credit account by typing in the amount and any note and clicking on send money. You can easily just send money from a debit account to a credit account. I accidentally made the debit account and the credit account the same, and it says the sender and the receiver account must be different. So going to another account, if I click on send money, the transaction is successful. Going further, we have the deposit request tab. In this section, this is where you find every single customer that has requested for a deposit. In like you see, going to the make deposit section, you see this is where you make the deposit, but when you come here, this is where you see every deposit that has been requested by a customer. And then also going to the withdrawal request, this is where you find every withdrawal that has been made by a customer that is pending acceptance. Going to the make transaction section, this is where a customer can make a transaction. For instance, selecting the customer name is going to pop up the account number and the balance for you. You can type an amount and then you see the transaction. You can either select if you want to make a debit or a credit transaction. By selecting one of them, it's a transfer and the transaction status pending. Then you can type in any description and then save it. By saving it, you see you have saved that particular customer made a transaction of 122 cedis, and this balance is now 6,119. This basically just enables you to type in when a customer makes a transaction. You just come here and fill, like you see if a customer makes a withdrawal here, and then you finish filling this tab, you can come into the make transaction section and then you just type everything that happened before. You just retype it here and then you can save it. Going back to the transaction history, this is where you see every single transaction that has been made by the bank. You see a few seconds ago we typed in a transaction and the status I put was pending. You see the transaction was already recorded here, so I can come here, click on edit, it's going to bring me back here, and I can change the transaction status to completed by clicking on update, and then by clicking on update and going back to the transaction history tab, you can see the transaction type has changed from pending to completed. So I can either just delete this or view it. You can also click on add view, but it will take you back to the make transaction tab. So going further to the transaction categories tab, this is where you have the deposits, the withdrawal, the account maintenance fee, the commission, the passbook fee, the reversals, the sales, and the transfer. You see the deposit is a credit, the withdrawal is a debit, as we know. Account maintenance fee, a debit, a commission is a debit, a passbook fee is a credit, a reversal is a debit, a sales is a debit, and then transfer a credit. So you can edit this transaction or you can add a new type of category if you want. So that'll be all for the transaction tab. Then we can go on to the ID verification tab. In the ID verification tab, if you click on verify ID, it's going to redirect you to the GVive websites where you can easily log in to verify a particular ID. Going forward into the bill payments tab, this is where you can either pay your ECG bill, the DSTV bill, or the water bill. This is a redirect, so when you click on ECG bill, it's going to redirect you to the ECG login. When you click on the DSTV bill, it's going to redirect you to the DSTV website where you can easily just sign in and pay the customer bill for him. You can click on the water bill, it's going to redirect you to the Ghana Water e-portal where you can easily just log in and pay your water bills. Going further into the staff activities tab, this is where you see every single activity that has been carried out by staffs. By selecting a valid date, let's see a start date from 3rd December to 7th December, clicking on get, you see everything a particular staff has done. Like Excel Joppa made the total deposit of 5,355 cedis over the past 4 days, and the total transfer he did was 20 cedis. The total withdrawal was 250 cedis. The withdrawal charges was 50 cedis, and that his staff vote balance is 5,185 cedis. So adding all the staff, you can see we have the grand total for every single thing. And yeah, so going further into the vault info, the vault balance just shows you how much money is left in the particular vault associated to the bank. You can either just type in a particular figure and just send the money from a particular staff to another staff. So clicking on transfer vault stuff, you see the vault balance is 9,157 cedis, right? We can just send, let's say, 5,000 from Justice staff to Excel the staff, and then after transferring, if you go back to Excel the staff and you check his particular balance, you see Excel has the amount of 5,495 cedis added to his balance for him to be able to like make deposits and withdrawals for customers when they visit the bank. So the vault transfer history just gives you a summary of what I just explained. We basically just made a transfer from Justice Frimpong vault to Excel Joppa's vault of 5,495 cedis. So Justice has 5,495 cedis less in his vault, and Excel has 5,495 cedis left added to his particular vault balance. This is easy to use in case Excel doesn't have enough in his vault to make transactions for a customer. Justice can easily just send him from his vault and then he can do the particular transaction for the customer. Moving further into the bank summary section, we have the cash to bank, and then we also have the cash from bank. This is basically just a method of taking money, like sending money from your particular website to a bank. Is just like the transaction section, but in this case you are sending money from for a customer to a bank. Like you can either add like Fidelity Bank, you type in the customer account name, you type in the customer account number and the amount he wants to like send. By clicking on submit or save, you have successfully like put in the information you use in sending the money from your vault to a particular customer's bank. And then the cash from bank is just a way of like withdrawing money from a bank. So the cash to bank is like a deposit, and then the cash from bank is like a withdrawal. So moving on to the all loans tab, we have the all loans, the pending loans, the active loans, the loan calculator, the loan products, the repayments, and the loan certificate. So the all loans tab is basically a list of all the loans that is either approved or pending in your bank. The pending loans tab basically just shows you a list of all the pending loans to the bank. You can click on add new to add a new pending loan. The active loans show you the loans that is active, like loans that have been approved by the bank and is pending repayment. The loan calculator tab just basically shows you how to calculate a loan. By going on the loan products, you see we have the staff loan. It has an interest rate of 10%, and it's a flat rate. The maximum is 3 and the period is month. So by going back into the loan calculator tab, you can see let's say the applied loan is 150, the interest per rate is 10, the interest type is a flat rate. Let's say the term is 3, the time period is monthly. By clicking on calculate, you basically get how the customer is going to pay back the loan and how much you're going to get from that particular loan. So moving forward into the loan product, this is like I said, the staff loan, the business loan, the personal loan. All this information is what you use in filling out the loan calculator tab to calculate how much you're going to get from a loan, how much a customer is going to pay back when he gets a loan. So going into the loan certificate tab, this is basically where you see after you fill out the information for the loan and you give a loan out to someone, they basically get a loan certificate that ensures that this customer has a loan tailored to the bank. Moving further, we have the investment tab. In the investment tab, we have the all investments, the investment calculator, the investment products, investment payments, and the investment certificate. So when you head into the investment products, we can see we have different kinds of investments. We have the 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, and the 1 year investment. And they're all the simple interest type with different mark terms and different term period. You can either select action to edit or delete a particular investment product. The interest rates for every term varies. From the investment products tab, you can go into the investment calculator, and let's say you're doing just calculate if a customer wants to invest an amount of 1,300 cedis with an interest rate of 10%. You click on calculate, you see the total amount of money the customer is going to get at the end of the investment time. From the investment time, you can go to the all investments to see every single person that has made an investment to the company. For example, we have Francis, who made an investment of 6 months with this account number, and he started the investment on the 27th of November, and he invested 100 Ghana cedis. You can further go down to investment certificate to select Francis and generate a certificate for Francis. This just shows that Francis investment is assured and a couple details on the investment Francis made. Moving further to the accounts tab, we have the all accounts, the accounts type, the active account, the dormant accounts, and the interest calculator. So the all accounts just shows you every single person that has made an account with the bank. The account type just shows you every single type of account that your bank has. Like for example, on the website now we have the Smart Kiddie account, the fixed deposit account, the savings account, and the daily Susu account. Going further, we have the dormant account. The dormant account basically just shows any account that is not being used for a particular amount of time. So if a customer abandons their account and they don't use it, that account appears in the dormant account section. The interest calculator basically just shows how to analyze and calculate an interest that a customer is going to accumulate over a specific period of time. You can select maybe fixed deposit and choose a valid date and select the amount. By clicking on calculate, it's going to show you the amount the customer is going to get from this specific amount of time. Going further into expense account, this is a category that just teaches you how to sort out expenses on the bank. By clicking on make expense, you can add a new expense. Let's say for instance you are adding an expense called rent, and the rent is 4,000 Ghana cedis a month. You can write monthly rent and then note, you say pay monthly, and then the expense date, they set it for the 8th of December. By clicking on submit, you see we got an error saying we don't have sufficient balance in our expense account. but if you get the whole idea of everything, because if you add a expense of, like, let's say right now I just add an amount of 600 cedis, so you just basically added it to the website, so you can see that you have an expense that you've made for 600 cedis to, and the expense is a rent expense, and the reference is monthly rate. You can either edit, view, or delete this. Going further into the expense categories, this just basically explains every kind of expense that you have. You see, you have the claims, the GCSCA dues, the rent, the SNIT, the stationery, the transport, the utility, and the salary. So you can come back to the main expense tab and add a new expense by clicking on add new, but this time you can choose to add maybe a salary or utility bill payment or expense for transportation and stuff. Going to assets, by clicking on my assets, you can see every single asset the company owns. For example, we have the bicycle asset and the motorbike asset. You see the amount of money the bicycle costs for this example is 15,000, and the amount of money the motorbike costs is 13,000. The motorbike asset has been approved. You can easily just approve or reject any asset that you want to incur. For this instance, we don't have enough money in the MP1 account, but if I go back and I add more money, I can come back here and click on approve and approve the bicycle asset. You can always click on create new asset to add a new asset to a particular branch that you want. Going further into the transaction method, we have the automatic method, which goes through Paystack or Hubtail. Right now Hubtail has been disabled, but if you click on Paystack, you can configure like your Paystack redirect or anything of sort. Going back, you can also go on manual deposit, and this is just basically adding a new deposit method for the bank. By clicking on the add new, you can add maybe any name if you want to use like PayPal or something. You just add a new deposit method. So going further into transaction method, you can use manual withdrawal, basically the same thing. You can add a new one by just adding a name and then adding the charges. Maybe you want to use like either tap send or sendwave or PayPal. You can just add any information that relates to the particular withdrawal method and then save it, and you can use this method to withdraw money from the bank with ease. So going further into the staff management tab, we have the all staff, staff roles, salary payment, and staff access control. The all staff tab basically shows every single staff that you have in your bank. You can see, for example, we have Excel, Jexel, Justice Frimpong, and Coffee Bar. You can either set the current staff as active or inactive, or you can just click on action to edit, view, or delete the particular staff. You can also add a new staff to the bank. Going further, you can click on staff roles to see every bit of staff roles that you have. You can always click on action to edit that particular role, view the role, or delete that particular role. You can also click on the add new to add a new role. The salary payments tab is just a tab that makes it easy to pay a particular staff their salary. By clicking on the particular staff, you can select his account number and then select the salary, and then click on any transaction description. By clicking on submit and save, you can see that Excel Justice with the account number of 1014466650 has been credited with 100 cedis for their salary, and it shows you that particular staff account balance and the transaction status of successful. So going further into the staff access control, this tab basically just gives any particular staff in the staff roles. This just gives any particular staff here, it gives any particular staff there access to some specific parts of the website. Like you can change the agent's manager permission to access the investment tab or the dashboard or the member tab or the transaction tab. You can basically change for any particular staff member type. You can change their access to specific parts of the website. Going further, we have just the basic languages where you can select any language, edit the translation. You can delete the language from the website, or you can add a new language to the website by clicking on the add new language tab. Moving further, we have the all reports tab. The all reports tab is just a tab that shows you every report about different kind of sections on the website, like the customer reports, the account statements, account balance, the loan reports, the loan due reports, the loan payment reports, transaction reports, investments reports, assets reports, bank summary reports, transfer reports, expense reports, salary reports, revenue reports, and financial reports. The customer report shows you every bit of information concerning when a customer first opened their account, their name, their account number, their phone number. Like it shows you every information about that particular customer. Like you see, Francis made his account on the 22nd of November at 9:22 p.m. and it gives you his name, Francis Afiti. It gives you the account number, his phone number, his daily rates, his gender, and his account balance at that particular time. Going into account statement basically just shows you the account statement of any particular customer in the bank. So you can copy the account number from Francis from the previous tab and you can paste in the account statement. Let's go back to November. On the first tab, it says he opened his account on the 22nd of November. So if we go back to the 22nd of November to end date of the 7th of December and we put his account number and you click on filter, it shows you every single transaction he has made from that particular day of 22nd November till his most recent transaction on the 7th of December. You see he deposited an amount of money. He debited 589 cedis. That was a transfer from account to account. That was the last transaction Francis made on his account, which was on the 7th of December, and his account balance is 6,119. So going further into the account balance tab, this just shows you the account balance of any particular customer by just typing out their account number. It just gives you, like the account number I copied before, it just gives you their particular account number at that particular time. Loan report section also just gives you every single detail concerning a loan that a particular customer has taken. So if you go into personal loan and select a particular date, for example, I'm going to go from 22nd November to 7th December, and we can find out if this particular customer has taken a particular type of loan for this given date. By clicking on filter, you see there is no data found, which means this customer hasn't taken any type of personal loan or staff loan or business loan. We see this particular customer hasn't taken any type of loan. But if a customer has taken a loan and you put in the correct details here and click on filter, it gives you the report on the loan the customer has taken. Going into the loan due tab, we can see the Francis Afeti has a due loan on that he took on the 28th of November, and he took a loan of 1,000 cedis and he got it on the 28th of November, and he's paid only 98 cedis, and the amount left is 118 cedis, but the total payable amount is 1,240 cedis. This just shows you the interest rate and the amount of money left to be paid by the customer. Any customer who has a due loan in your bank, the loan due report shows it here, and it makes it easier for you to just analyze every single customer and see how much they have to pay and how much is left for them to pay to the bank. Going further into the loan payment report, you can click on the particular customer. You see in the previous section in the loan due report, you see Francis took a loan of 1,000 cedis. Then we go further to the loan payment report. You can see Francis pops up here because he took a loan of 1,000 cedis, and you see he's been paying his loan every day. He pays 19 cedis, 20 cedis, 20 cedis, 20 cedis, 20 cedis. He's been paying every day, and he hasn't paid on the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th. So it shows here as pending. You understand? So this just gives you like the payment report of a particular customer and how far they're coming in the repayment of their loan. Going further into the transaction report, these transaction reports just give you the particular transaction any customer has made over a specific period of time. So you can see for this particular customer, you can see they haven't made a particular transaction right now, but if you find a valid a customer who has made a particular type of transaction, you can just easily just put in their vault account number, the status of the account, and then you click on filter, and it's going to show you every single information that about the customer's transaction that he has made on their account. Going further into investment report, this tab just basically shows you every single investment the customer has made in your bank. For example, you see Francis bought an investment product of 6 months and he invested 100 cedis. This gives you this started on the 14th of November and the end date is 9th December, but Francis made the investment on the 27th of November. So this date just shows you everything that has happened in between this particular date. And the investment payment amount is 120 cedis, and he's going to get it on the 27th of May 2025. And the status has been approved. You can click on view to view the particular loan information. Going further, you can see the assets report. So these assets reports just give you a specific within a specific time frame. It shows you every single asset that's been incurred by the bank, like you said, the motorbike which we saw earlier, and the reason for the incurement was for CRO operations, right? And the amount used was 13,000 cedis. If you purchase more assets, it's going to pop up here on the website in the assets reports tab. The bank summary report shows you every single cash to bank report that has been made on the bank. We can go backwards towards the 21st of November, and you see the staff. It shows you every single information, every single cash to bank transaction that every staff member has made. For example, you see from the 24th of November, cash to bank transaction, Exojopa Tema branch. The bank name was ADB to the MP1 bank and the account number, and he did an amount of 10 cedis. You see Justice also did an amount of 2,000 cedis. This basically shows you every single cash to bank transaction total of the staff of a particular staff member and everything they've done. So going further into the transfer reports tab, the transfer reports tab just shows you every single transfer that has been made by a particular staff in the bank. So just have to select the valid date, and it shows you everything that a particular staff member has carried out. Like you see, Excel Jopa here made a transfer of 20 cedis, and he sent it from Francis Afeti's account to Francis Jopa's account. And you can see the sender account number is here, and the receiver account number is here, and every information. So if a staff member makes a transaction for a customer, it pops off in the transfer reports tab. So the expense report tab just basically shows you all the expenses that has been made by the bank during a particular given time. You see, earlier we recorded an expense of 600 cedis for rent, and you see it's popped up here as a rent of 600 cedis. So every expense you carry out in your bank, it pops up here. So every single expense you make comes to the expense reports tab. The salary reports tab just shows you every amount of money you have paid as salary over a given time. So if you go back, you see we've paid Excel Hop, which is, it gives you his account number and the amount of money you paid as a salary on the 4th of December. You see he got paid 2 times on the 4th of December and then twice on the 6th of December. So the salary report tab just gives you every single salary you've paid. It gives you an information of every single salary you've paid to your staff members. The revenue report tab also shows you the total amount of revenue you made in a particular month in a given year. So you can select a particular month, let's say November, click on filter, you see the revenue from loan you got, the revenue from transfer, the total commission, and the total revenue you got from this particular month. You can select any single month just to see the revenue you made for that particular month. Last but not least, you have the financial report. The financial report just shows you every single bit of financial details that according to your bank. Like you see, it shows you like basically the account balance and everything related to money on the account on the website. For example, you see the assets amount you have is 13,000. Your average balance for this particular time is 3,466 cedis. Your balance from credit to debit is 29,672 cedis. The dormant account balance is 0. Your dormant account you have over this particular time is 0. Your highest balance that you had over this particular time is 20,000 cedis. The lowest balance you had was 0. The total assets you have is 13,000. The total commission you got is 64 cedis, and the total customers you made over this particular time is 6. So this just shows you the financial report for any particular given time. It gives you the assets, your balance, your dormant account balances, the highest balance you get. This is just a way to monitor like the expenses or the balances of every single type of account you have in the bank. Finally, we have the system settings. We have the general settings where you can just edit the name of the company and set some private stuff, the email, the transaction fees, the logo, the cash, the cron jobs, the Google reCAPTCHA, the SMS gateways, and all that stuff. You can edit the supported currency. You see we have Ghana cedis, US dollars, and euros. You can also edit the exchange rate. You can add a new currency. You can also set the notification templates. You can also back up the database. Overall, the MP1 digital website was made to give you easy control and access to do different stuff over a website. It is one of the best websites you can find that monitors and controls and makes transactions seamlessly easy, and it's also very, very easy and straightforward to use. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll be seeing you in the next one. Bye.